0 for 7 on the power play.
Your Locked On Stars, your daily podcast on the Dallas Stars. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Howdy, Stars fans. I'm Joey Erickson, former producer of 105 Through the Fan. Please be sure to subscribe. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. And as always, thank you so much for making us a part of your day and making us your first listen. The Dallas Stars fall to the New York Rangers by a final score of 3-1 after going 0 for 7 on the power play, which included a 5-minute opportunity in the third period after a elbowing game misconduct by Matt Rempe. And yet again, the Stars power play on home ice is just unable to convert. It is completely inept. And Stars fans, what else can be said that has not already been thrown out onto earth about this Stars power play, especially on home ice, which is completely and utterly useless. It's inept. I don't know what else to say about the Stars power play, ladies and gentlemen. And truthfully, the more irritating thing about it all is it's looked okay. It has looked okay recently. They just cannot bear down on their chances. Bork had a good look in front. Marchment as well. Duchesne, just good looks in tight. Johnston cannot find a way to put the puck in the back of the net. And Igor Shesterkin was brilliant. He deserves all the flowers. Shot 41 of 42 on the night. He was, just incredible. The expected goals against was 6.37. It was utterly flawless from Shesterkin on the night. But at the end of the day, 7 opportunities on the power play. 7 with a 5-minute major mixed in. Yeah, you have to execute. You have to execute. And yes, you ran into a hot goaltender. Tough. That's SOL, right? I get it, but you lost to a team, and thank you to Sarcastic Remarks. It's a wonderful tweet. And I said this on Friday's episode coming into the game. It doesn't matter what form the other team is. The Stars are going to struggle. A team that's lost 3 straight, 1-5 in their last 6, has lost 11 of their last 14 games. And I don't know what it is with the Stars coming out and just absolutely dominating for like 3.5 to 5 minutes and then just nosedive the rest of the game. Just nosedive. Or maybe not the rest of the game is unfair, but just completely nosedive for the next 15 minutes of the period. I don't even know how to explain that. They come out firing. They scored twice. They get a goal that's pulled off because of offside. It was a good call. It was offside, the Jamie Benn goal. Great individual effort. And then the Stars stay on it. Roope Hintz gets his 14th of the season, assisted by Lundkvist and Robertson. Okay, here we go. And then just skadoosh. You get a power play, chance to double their lead, ends up in the back of their net. Riley Smith beats them shorthanded. And that was a turning point, really, of the contest. And Dallas could not rally on the power play, especially. They just continued to get gifted opportunities. Just gifted one after the other in the first period. And nothing, ladies and gentlemen. 0 for 7. 0 for 7, 42 shots on goal. And Shesterkin was brilliant. He was brilliant. And I would love to just say, well, they ran into a hot goaltender. That happens. 7 power plays. 7 power plays. 0 for 7. It's just... It's another opportunity where the power play and the man advantage can just chip in and help you out. You're already struggling to score. And that's where the real kicker is. Stars are struggling to score at 5-on-5 anyways. And DeBoer mentioned the razor thin margins because they can't extend leads. They can't just continue to push because they just cannot bear down on some looks. They had 44 chances in the game, 44 scoring chances. And yeah, they produced a lot. And Otter was fantastic. He was brilliant. He was brilliant the rest of the way. After the Trocheck goal, he was holding Dallas in it. He made a couple of unreal saves, just doing the best he can. And he's starting his 8th game in a row. He's tired. They can't go to DeSmith because of the flu. And he's holding them in. And they just cannot find a way to convert. And for the 18,000th time, we're talking about the power play. It's going to be the death of me, Stars fans. It's going to be the death of me. It really is. And Matt Rempe gave the Stars a glorious opportunity. He's awful. he's awful, Stars fans. And I hate to even say that, but it just feels like the entire night he runs around just looking to hurt somebody. And look, that is a part of the game. That is hockey. There is somewhat of legal violence in our game, but it's all he does, frankly. And he had a look early, and he drew a penalty, but it's just the hit on Miro. It's just there's guys always talk about the just sort of level of respect amongst one another, like they're professionals, and it just seems like he crosses that line a lot. And he's really young, and good on Rope for trying to stick up for Miro, who we should all be happy that Miro came back. He missed that entire 5-minute power play, and we should be happy. It looks like he's okay for now. I'm sure he's dealing with something, but he didn't have to miss the rest of the game, which is a good sign. It could have been bad. It's just, right to the back, and just feels really. And look, there are a lot of hits from behind in the NHL. It's always been that way. I've never really understood it. Like sometimes you can just drive people from behind, and it's just kind of understood, but not in the manner of which Rempe did to Miro there. And that's my 2 cents on that. I just feel like he has no regard for anybody else. Anyone's safety, and it just feels like there's not that respect factor amongst his peers, and that's sort of where I leave it at that. But at the end of the day, the Stars go 0 for 7 on the power play, ladies and gentlemen, and it's truly all that matters. And the final score, of course, 3-1 with an empty net goal from New York. What else can be said that hasn't? At this point, Sam Steele and Colin Blackwell need some power play time. Maybe not on the first unit, but the second unit, they deserve it. They deserve it because the other personnel is not getting it done. And they had Nils Lundkvist a little bit because they were without Miro. Lundkvist needs an opportunity. I think Sam Steele deserves an opportunity. I'll throw Blackwell into that conversation because they're not getting it done. And the Stars go 3-3 on a 6-game homestand. It's so poor. It's so poor. And we talked about early in the season about sometimes you just run into really hot teams like Winnipeg early on, and you just get boat raced. Like what team came in to Dallas that was on fire? Really, like Nashville was on the brink of losing 9 straight. St. Louis was middling. Washington was a good team. They won that. Credit. Toronto was. They weren't coming scorching, and New York was about to collapse. Like 3-3. And it started with the shellacking of Calgary, but just a lot of points left out there, ladies and gentlemen. a lot of points, and it's a real poor homestand. It's meh. It is meh. It's they're 0 for 10 now. They're 0 and 10 this season when trailing after 2 periods. They can't come from behind because they can't score. They can't bear down on their chances. And again, I feel like every time I look at Blackwell, Steele going to the net, driving, creating, making stuff happen. They came out on fire in the first period, and the Stars need a little more of that. And the top line wasn't terrible today. I thought they were pretty good. But look, they're all on the power play. They are responsible for all of it. And some of you have chimed in on X here. I want to read some of them because they're spot on. Russell Lightfoot, absolutely horrible. Stars need a pure goal scorer in the worst way. Amen. Ryan Brodeur, almost a full period, up a man or nothing. Sad face. Amen. Dashier, brutal. It looks so predictable and uninspired for most of the season. It takes momentum away from them and has lost them several close games. Amen to that, Stars fans. Amen to that. The PK's brilliant. 3 for 3. Power play is exactly the opposite of brilliant. Whatever that is, get the thesaurus out. So I don't want to look it up. I'm tired of talking about it. I really am. And it's not that they just go 0 for 7. Like they really went 0 for 8. They gave up a shorthanded goal after coming out blazing, and it just halted. Stopped right there. Okay, we're going into a break. Okay, and we're coming back. I'm going to have new thoughts. Just a moment, Stars fans, in just a moment. Today's episode of Locked On Stars is brought to you by FanDuel. Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get the hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Today's episode of Locked On Stars is also brought to you by PrizePicks. If you love sports, you're going to love PrizePicks, the best place to turn your sports knowledge into real money, whether it's hockey, football, or any of your favorite spots. PrizePicks makes it easy to get in on the action. You can now win up to 1,000 times of your money on PrizePicks. Plus, this holiday season, they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Picksmas and offering 2 free picks in December. And when your picks hit, PrizePicks makes it easy to cash out. You can get your money in as fast as 15 minutes. This week, you can eye the hockey board. They got options like Jack Hughes, more than 4 shots on goal, or Timmy Panarin for more than 1 assist. We did see him tonight. It's so simple to make your picks and have fun with friends while potentially cashing out. Download the app today. Use the code LOCKEDONNHL to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's $50 instantly. PrizePicks. Run your game. On the positive side of things for the Stars, Nils Lundkvist and Thomas Harley returned to the lineup. Mason Marchment, who was a game time decision, was able to go, which was another positive sign after Justin Rutskovian was brought up. And Harley played 22 minutes. Lundkvist played just a couple of ticks under 15, which again is a good sign that hopefully they're on the other side of what their symptoms were as they've been dealing with the flu bug. So Lundkvist, I thought, had such a good game. Actually, he was pretty good on the night. His game score is 2.17. He picks up an assist, and for the most part was creating some chances. He joined in off the rush and had some good looks on the night. He was one of the bright spots for sure for for the Stars, and it's just it's becoming insanity. It's becoming insanity. It's a same thing, different story, Stars fans. I don't know what else can be said. There has to be a change of identity, philosophy. I mean, something like the coaching staff, anything to get the power play going. And it wasn't the full story of this one. It really wasn't. But it's hard to leave that little number. There were issues, but when you get scored on shorthanded, and that sort of just killed your momentum in the contest, and it was early, and you had time to make it up. And Shesterkin was brilliant. And maybe I'm being unfair because he was just fantastic, and maybe it wasn't going to be enough either way because of how dominant Igor was on the night. But he's paid that way, and I said on Friday's episode today, he hasn't had his usual stuff, but he was locked in. He was locked in at the AAC, that's for sure. And he gave Dallas the business on the night. He certainly did. It's just there has to be something different. There's got to be something different from the Stars on the power play. And you look at the expected goals for, like Robertson 4.28, and Johnson 3.79. Like, but that's to be expected when you have 7 power plays. They played a ton, but at 5-on-5. It really didn't muster up a ton. I will say, I thought Maverick Bourque had a really, really solid game until it became kind of a special teams fest. And, it kind of disrupts some of the shifts, and it disrupts some of the time on ice numbers. He played 12:34, but I thought Bourque had one of his better. I mean, he was buzzing off the hop. He created the Hintz goal and had some really good looks in tight on Shesterkin. Thought he had one of his better games of the season. That's a good sign as he's getting some opportunities with Robo and Rope. It is funny because, I said again on the preview episode that they need to split up Rope and Robo. Maybe I just need to say that every episode because I feel like when I say that, they come out and they almost score like 3 times. I feel like I just have to say that, split them up. And for some reason they come out and it looks like they're dominant again. And they look pretty damn good. But look, pretty damn good isn't going to get the job done. And it was a massive 2 points again. And you go 3-3 on the homestand. It's so poor. It really is. It really is really poor. 19-13 now on the season. It's getting tough. And this one is just you are unable to beat Shesterkin. That happens sometimes, and they ran into a hot one. They certainly did. But when you get 7 opportunities on the man advantage, like, is it really the goaltender? Like, maybe it was. And Shesterkin had some great stops. He had some great stops on the power play, but there's a lot of forcing passes through sticks, flat-footed, trying to make the right play or trying to make the pretty play. And, like, what else can be said? What else can be said, Stars fans? Let me know in the comments below, please. I'm going to read through them. That'll help me. I feel like I've put all my brain cells into suggestions, ideas, and I'm not here saying that the coaching staff isn't. I know they're not happy about it, but at some point you got to bear down. You got to bear down. That's all I have to say tonight. That's all I got. And I'm sorry, it's just me whining on here. I really am. But again, 0 for 7. 0 for 7. That's the story of the night. Well, I get a couple days off here on the weekends, and they got Utah on Monday at the Delta Center again, and they need a win in the worst way. They need a win in the worst way. Alrighty, that's all I have for tonight. Let me know your grievances in the comments below. I would love to hear them. I would love to hear them. Drop a like, subscribe. I really appreciate all the love and support. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being everydayers. Thank you for being a part of this community. It's an absolute blast. Albeit talking about the power play all the time is not always the best, but hey, we're gonna keep dissecting it and hammering away. We're gonna figure it out, Stars fans. If the coaching staff does not, we will. I guarantee it. We will find a way. Oh, I know all the answers, Stars fans, right? They need to come to me. I know all the answers. All righty. Enough lollygagging. Have a great weekend, Stars fans. I hope the power play doesn't linger for you. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. We got Christmas in a few days, which will be an absolute blast. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm getting out of here. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you on a Monday edition of Locked On Stars. So long, Stars fans.